think we're live.
Awesome.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another lunchtime Blink session. I'm
Hey,
John Monroe, creator.
I'm Ishmael.
And today we're doing a pretty special live stream as always. Ishmael's joining me and we're going to share some behind the scenes looks, but if you're joining us for our live stream, you may have noticed that we flipped live for the first time ever individual releases of Blink's games, the 2020 Summer Games. If you haven't checked them out at move38.com, check them out. And they're going crazy fast. So
yeah, big thank you to everyone who was refreshing the page right beforehand and got it as soon as it dropped. That means a lot to us to see your support and how passionate you are about us releasing new games on our website. Thank you so much.
Yeah, there's been just a huge amount of support for all of the developers making games and from the developer community as well. I see Jonathan West, you're joining us. Jonathan West's game, which is Dynamo. Jamie and I had this out just the other night, and these summer series games are so much fun. I noticed that a number of our backers, in fact, I think 30% of Blink's owners are around the world. And this is something that Ishmael and I were just talking about. We kind of wanted to address up front. So, or should we talk a bit about the game's release and then we can touch on international?
Whatever you're down for, John. You're the boss.
Let's go ahead and start with a little bit about the summer games. So if you're joining us and you haven't seen them, there are 3 new games that are available. We're going to be shipping them in the middle of August. We've put in the biggest order of Blinks that we've ever made. I believe we ordered 25,000 Blinks, which means there are going to be 25,000 Blinks games in the world on top of all the games that are out there. It kind of blows my mind.
That's wild.
And while we don't have those Blinks yet, those are the ones we're producing for all the Kickstarter backers. We do have some Blinks on hand, and we reserved 500 of them for these 2020 summer game sets. Another thing we're going to touch on, I see it in the comments, is how to enter the summer, the Sushi Roll Challenge.
Nani? It has begun.
Was that a nani?
Yes, it was indeed. You know more Japanese than I do anyway.
Toto hanashimasu. Demo watashi no benkyou shimasen.
Hey, I have never agreed with you more.
That's Jamie's also been watching a fair amount of anime. There's some really good, it's interesting. I enjoy good movies, good creative art content. There's a lot of really creative anime.
You're telling me every single day, Dan and I, if only you joined the meetings later, we'd have more time to talk anime in the morning. The second thing I have to say to that is I have learned a lot of Japanese from anime as well, but nothing I can say on air. So it doesn't count.
Well,
usually, unless if we're fighting, which we rarely do.
We'll keep our live streams clean. We didn't check that box saying warning to adults. And
no anime insults here.
Family-friendly endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let me break out the games. I'm gonna flip on the other camera. Let's see. All right, so everybody can see. A couple of things. We'll get to this and how you can get your hands on one of these special edition sushi roll cases in a bit. But I want to hold these up to the camera. So this is one of the summer series games. This does not have the limited edition holographic coating. These were printed at my local print shop, but still look pretty sweet.
Still looks good, but we got something even better on the way.
This is Dynamo. We got Jonathan West on, and Dynamo is Jonathan West's game. And then Heist, which is Keir Williams' game. And I see David Page. Welcome to the stream. We've got
hey, David.
Battle,
long time no see.
Which is David Page's creation. And these games, I think I can load them up and just kind of show a quick recap, but really the best way to see these games played is Jamie and I over the past few weeks have been picking games from the forums and playing these ones live on our live streams. We updated the thumbnails on our live stream so you can easily find these 3 games now. And so I'm gonna load up.
John, not to make this into an interview live on CNBC, but if you were to categorize the games into genres, how would you go about doing that?
This is actually something we've been talking about internally a lot and trying to figure out, because Blinks, in the same way that I would describe, people would be like, oh, that's an animated film, that's the genre. And I'm like, no, that's not a genre, that's a medium. And so Blinks are a medium, and they allow for all different types of genres of games. And so let me see if I can actually...
That's a good point too, because I'm starting to realize it's not necessarily, people who love tabletop like Blinks. I'm starting to realize that people who love tabletop love these certain types of Blinks games. And then people who love Call of Duty are crazy about Challenge Me and Wham, even though they still get annihilated, and I'm starting to realize, that phenomenon.
It's, I love, I feel like there's competitive Blinks players, there's cooperative Blink players, there's kind of narrative Blinks players where they're like, I'm kind of, I'm into creating stories with these lights and figuring out their own ways to play.
We should even give a shout out to one of the Blinks YouTubers. We have Blinks YouTubers out there who actually have their family come up with narrative stories of Zenflow. That was really awesome. Maybe we'll have to put that in the description or something. That's
some of the coolest things I've seen on Blinks. No, this is 100% true. Almost all of the coolest things I've seen on Blinks have now been from the community, and so
100%, yeah.
Developer forum is just blowing up with new ideas, new games, constantly being updated. It's probably my biggest source of lack of sleep. That's not true.
Definitely not true.
But it's my most enjoyable. Yeah, whenever I'm just like, oh man, let's see what's going on in Blinks world. The developer forum, always something new. I want to share, so you asked about genres, and I realized this is a good excuse for me to share something that we've been working really hard on, which is on our website, move38.com. I believe, let's see if this shows up correctly on here. Let's see.
Are you gonna give alley-oop to the game pages?
That's exactly right. So
man, look at me setting it up. I'm amazing.
So we've been working really hard on these. Let me widen this up a bit. Can everybody see this all right? I guess you can visit the page. It's move38.com/pages. Oh, whoops. I'm sharing the wrong screen now. Let's see. Try that one more time. Okay, always learning with the live stream. So on the games page, the most important thing about Blinks is the community and the games being made on them. And our website previously kind of gave an overview of what Blinks are and some of the games, but we really wanted to provide all this rich content about the games. And so if you go to the games page now, you can see all of the published games, even the community set games that we haven't released yet, the summer games. And if you pop into one of these, so let's say I go to, let me pick Heist, just to pick one out of the group. So if I go into Heist, you can see the game and the game art, information about how long this game might take to play, the difficulty of it, and this all spawned from your question, Ishmael, of genre. And so we went through all the games and broke them down based on genres that we felt were fitting for the game. So you can go through and be like, you know what, I really like all the action games for Blinks. And so here you can see in the genre space for game info that's categorized for action. I'm trying to think if I have the genres of these 3 games by heart. I guess the Battle Balloons would be strategy. Let me just double check. Okay, yeah, strategy.
Okay. 1 for 2.
What?
My mom actually always says things done by heart are never done well, so I try to never memorize anything, which is not what she intended.
I think it's a good rule of thumb. I would say 3 years ago, so much of Move 38 stuff was like off the top of my head. And then, you know, at this point now, it's like
good to double check stuff.
Notion documents and documentation's everything. And so, you know, these game pages are an extension of that. So from the summer games, we've got 2 strategy games. That's actually interesting. These are work in progress pages. I'm not sure I would classify Dynamo as strategy. Okay.
Yeah, I'll talk to someone about that. I think I agree with you on that.
What would you say, Ishmael? I feel like Dynamo, I mean,
we have the creator. You have Jonathan West himself. I feel like it's action, but I'm really curious what Jonathan's perspective is if he's still in the chat.
Let's see.
I'd be curious what Jonathan's perspective on, because if he says it's something else, then we have to go with what he says. Like,
yeah. Game creators are they're the rule here. They're the rule. So let's see. Jonathan said not sure he'd call it strategy either.
Okay, we'll work on that.
I feel like, you know,
Party is good.
It might be playground, or I think it fits into action. I mean, it really is. It's just a high action game.
Thanks for everyone who appreciates our redesign of the website, though. We've been working incredibly hard on that for months, actually.
Yeah, and I feel like it's one of those tricky things. It's a work in progress. So if you see stuff there that needs to be fixed, or you see that assets are missing, like we wanted to get it rolling out. This is kind of, I would say, soft launch for the games page is kind of like you're getting in early for a restaurant that's ready to, you know, hasn't submitted it to the New York Times yet, but maybe in a couple weeks, right?
I'm following.
So
Jonathan says party or action game.
Party or action game.
I would like to go party just so that we can claim we have one of each.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be kind of cool. If one is in the middle, then we have 1 action, 1 strategy, and 1 party/action for party. It shows good diversity for the summer game.
I'm trying to think if this.
Hey, Jonathan said more party. I won.
One more vote for party.
The most important vote, actually.
Maybe more party. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, let me. I guess let's take a moment to talk about a couple of the games, because we've got the games creators. We've got such a great audience. Everybody's been tuning into the live streams. A lot of you have probably seen these games previewed, but just real quickly. So we've got 2 action games, 1 strategy game, Battle Balloons. Played this with 2 other people the other night. I had actually not realized that Battle Balloons is, I thought of it only as a 2-player game. You can play it 2-player, but I think that the best way to play, in my opinion, is playing with multiple people, like more people. And it created this really wonderful dynamic of bluffing and teaming up on each other. In the game, it's kind of like Battleship. There's decoys that you can plant as well as a crown that you want to uncover. And I think, of course, I was playing. Jamie was one of the three, and I think that in the game we played, the most recent game we played, Jamie guessed right, spot on. First try, she was like going after my 6th balloon. You have to pop all the balloons to uncover the crown. So she was one away from popping it, and our other player, Kaz, popped one of her balloons that I think it eliminated her. And it was the best thing for me because she was eliminated out of the game before she could make that last pop. And then I convinced Kaz, because of my bluffing, that like, nah, that's not the one you want to go after. And so he went after another one, and I ended up winning.
John the finesse it. That's awesome. Yeah, got to get Jamie out of the game, man. Don't stand a chance against her.
I mean, everybody watching the live streams knows that Jamie is the superior Blinks player. And so let's see. Speaking of the superior Blinks player on our lunch break.
She's up here.
Let's see. So that's Battle Balloons. Dynamo, Ishmael, I feel like Dynamo's got to be your favorite. I know we're not allowed to like pick, but
I can't pick favorites, but I really enjoy games that have multiple use cases. And, you know, we say that there are 3 games in Dynamo, but those are only the games that we're able to think of. I know that once people get Dynamo in their hands, they're going to be coming up with things, and they're probably going to be 6 ways to play with Dynamo by the end of August. And that's going to be really phenomenal and exciting. And the fact that we can play it with 1 blink, which is, I may have said last time, actually something that I thought would be impossible to make a Blinks game that feels complete, that can be played with 1 piece. I'm really glad that someone tackled the challenge, and I'm really excited for developers to continue tackling more challenges in the future and making more mechanics possible. So really impressed with Dynamo.
And I'm going to just hold up Dynamo so you can see what a 1 blink game looks like. So if I double click this, am I not? Oh, this is.
Are you programmed to?
Let me see if I'm actually
programmed to Dynamo.
Okay, here we go. I was not holding up Dynamo. So if I double click it, there we go. You get to see this little charge. And I'm going to pick a different color. Green's pretty cool, but if I double click, I can choose a different color. I like blue. And then once I click, I start it off, and I have to keep this Dynamo. It's kind of like, I like to think of it as like a perpetual motion machine. Jonathan West made all these cool little drawings looking like patent drawings. And as a 1-player game, it's just, you know, you got to keep pace and timing. And
I would love to set up maybe 6, start them at a random rate, and have you hit it and kind of like, well, after you hit one, put it in like a different location so you can't memorize like, oh, this one I always have to hit at this time. And almost have like a Dance Dance Revolution type thing where I'm creating the board and you're reacting and trying to keep all the heartbeats alive. So I would love to play. But that's something that already came up in my mind. That'd be a super fun 2-player version to play.
I think playing the other night, I could only get up to maybe juggling 4. There's 3 ways to play Dynamo. There's a juggling mode, there's a power struggle mode, and then I'm blanking on the 3rd one right now. I bet Jonathan West can pop in on this. Let's see. But yeah, I think starting them up, getting going, it's like, and also I feel like you brought up this once on one of your customer calls. You were talking with somebody in our community, and they were saying how they like to play whack-a-mole to train their hands for what game?
Oh, Call of Duty. So it was really interesting, their perspective, that they were saying that, you know, whack-a-mole kind of helps you, you know, focus on the people who you're actually targeting in Call of Duty and try to stay away from friendly fire, which I thought was really interesting. And he said that he really enjoyed the fact that he can kind of use it as a way to train his reaction time, his reaction speed. And the same, like, especially like I've been playing a lot of Warzone recently because it's free. And it's, you know, the biggest thing is being able to react to the person first and then aim in that location first, because you get to a point where all the guns are very powerful, and it's really all down to who recognizes the other person. I never thought of Blink's games in that type of way, and like that really helped open my eyes to the genre aspect and also the ways that people play Blink's games, because they love to train those type of skills, because that's fundamentally where they get their enjoyment, regardless of if they're really cool graphics or not.
Yeah. I feel like that's so cool, and I feel like people try all these different like MIDI keyboards or like custom arrangements, and I feel like, yeah, being able to arrange, like, I'll just give this a go with Dynamo. So like once I start these up, and I feel like this would be a good way for me to like train my hands for piano.
And then I would rearrange it too, like while you're doing that, and see if you can keep it going while I rearrange it. And even if we're playing with one blink, trying to like knock the blink out of your hand to distract you or something like
that. That's the game Jamie and I play, and it's I feel like it ends with Jamie being tickled and me still. So
what I would love to do is, obviously because Astro is my favorite game, this is no secret. I just said there's no damn it. Anyway, I would love to play Astro with one hand and the other hand try to keep the Dynamo alive. That'd be ridiculous.
That's cool.
That'd be super hard.
You break out Dynamo in any game you play.
Try to keep it going that'd be so hard, man.
All of a sudden it adds challenge to a new level to every other game.
Mm-hmm. Especially because, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, Jonathan West pointed out that the one I was missing was Hot Potato. It's called Electron Drift, where you have to hit it and then slide it, which is super cool.
Thanks, Josh, for the compliment. I'm flattered. I try to be out of the box. You guys come up with way better ideas than I do.
Let's see. And so I guess I've shown Battle Balloons. I've shown a little bit of Dynamo, and I should show a little bit of Heist.
Heist.
And then I wanted to leave a little time to talk more about the Somerset, our sushi roll cases, and international shipping. So before we get to that, I'm going to load up Heist. You can watch, of course, the live stream where Jamie and I play Heist. This game, it takes a page from Flick Flop, which is one of my favorite party games from the expansion set. It's like everybody gets it just from seeing it from afar. So if you're playing in a public space, somebody can join in instantly, and I love that about it. Heist takes it a little bit further, and it gives some theming, and it does something really nice where you have this pot of gold, and then you're I guess, robber, and you can choose. I love the color palette of this game too. You choose the color of your mask, and you slide the blinks and try and do damage to the walls each time you slide. So you take turns doing damage to the walls. But the thing that I didn't actually know the name of this until Dan said it, which is what's it called? It's like a final hit or last hit game. Where
I forgot the name of it as well, but he was referencing like MMORPGs and the difference between loot sharing when it's the average of who did the most damage versus most common. But once there's the person who comes in, the level 3 who comes in at the end and steals the loot because they have the final hit.
Right, which I think this is like so cool. I feel like I know that feeling of being the beginner in a game, or like not, and then like getting that lucky shot and being able to win is the coup de grace.
Awesome. I learned something today.
And I also just like, I like the animations in this, where like when it attaches, you get this really nice like explosion of the walls breaking down, and then you get your piece claimed, kind of similar to flip flop, but we kind of call it like flip flopped. Instead of sliding and the game getting let's see. Instead of the game getting easier as it goes on, because as more pieces attach, flick-flop gets easier to attach to. In Heist, you start out with it in the easiest arrangement, and then as the game goes on, it gets harder, which is more traditionally how you would design a game that you want people to be able to pick up and get into quickly. So I think Heist does a really awesome job of that.
I agree.
If there are any other questions about the games, definitely check out the live streams where we do playthroughs. Those are also on the games pages, so you can check out move38.com/games and see all of those live streams linked there. So I think it's time for us to talk about the Sushi Roll Challenge. Ishmael,
someone who was, I just want to make sure I got it. I think Jonathan West said that he couldn't do it for the life of him, and I'll explain a little bit. It's not easy to pick up. You may have saw in my meme video that I did the side-by-side of Instagram versus reality, and my friend totally dropped all 6. So it takes some time before you can start doing it off of a balcony, but I'm sure you'll get there. And someone else said, how do you enter? So, keeping it really simple, there are 2 ways to enter. If you post on social media and use the hashtag Sushi Roll Challenge, then you're entered, and then we will send you an Ikuba orange roll. If you email me your clip, because most people don't post on social media a lot. So to post on social media for the first time in months and have it be a Sushi Roll Challenge, I can understand why you'd rather prefer an alternate method. So if you email me clips, ishmael@move38.com, then you are also entered into the Sushi Roll Challenge. And we might make a montage video of, even send us your fails as well. That's totally fine. We make a montage video of people trying it and post that on YouTube. And of course, I'd confirm with you that it's all right for us to post your clips on YouTube of you succeeding or failing the challenge before we do so. We'd also be happy to send you an orange roll. So very simple ways to enter. Thanks for following up on that so that I could clarify. I hope that answers your question.
That was perfect. I think we'll see in the comments for sure, but I think, so hashtag Sushi Roll Challenge. Let's see. Awesome, one of the comments, I don't have time to watch the entire live stream, looking for the individual examples. Cool, oh yeah.
Timestamps would be a good idea.
Pop those timestamps in. It's looking like the summer set, I can't give an exact update, but I know that we are beyond halfway sold on the summer games. So
yeah, and the thing about these games is once we sell out, it's unlikely that we'll release these games again for the rest of the year. And we're not positive if we're going to release these games again early in 2021, because we already have so many other games lined up, and this is a limited release. So I really hope that you are able to get your hands on these games, because after this, we will be moving on to other, of course, our Kickstarter in the fall, and so many other games from the forum that we have to support as well.
Cool.
Hope that also clears things up as well. Yeah, so I'll quickly, on the Sushi Roll Challenge, so I'm going to explain it in like 1 minute. If you pull up too fast to start off, then everything's just going to fall. You want to start pulling slow, and then, well, actually, a lot. You want to pull and accelerate, and then you decelerate, and as you decelerate, it's almost like the blinks are still coming up, and the momentum carries it all the way to the top. So you don't want to yank it because it'll fall. You want to find a nice mesh point where you accelerate, and then you decelerate. You don't want to stop all the way because then it kind of bunches. But as you decelerate, that's actually the point in which the physics of the blinks carry them all the way up through the sushi roll. Do you feel like that's a good way to explain it, John?
I think so. I think people should see it done.
Okay, so if I mess up, that's it. I'm a pony. All right, you got it?
Are we
Oh no, I pulled too fast and a bunch of stuff. You see that?
stage fright? Stage fright.
Definitely stage fright. Okay, we'll see. We'll see if we got it.
Second time's a charm. Is that the phrase?
Yeah, yeah. I'll say it's a little easier first time. Okay, boom, we got it. We got
Nice.
it. The hardest part is like when my arm is in an awkward angle, I can't accelerate and decelerate at an easy speed. So
Let me see if I can do it. Ready? Here we go.
no. You're doesn't count.
What?
Doesn't count, John. No. Unbelievable. How do you, what is this? What
Oh,
is this over here?
Did I cheat?
No vertices over here, man. Come
Okay.
on, man. That's a we need to see it now.
Okay, hold on. Let me get it lined up with my Move 38 shirt. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Mm-hmm. You got it, man. Oh no! Dropped all 6. Dude. Don't come to me about no stage fright at all.
I
Give me a
choked.
break.
I choked. Okay, here we go. Take 2.
Okay, at least you're doing it. You weren't doing it with the orange roll. That's why it didn't work. This time you got it.
Here we go. Ready?
Mhm.
Okay, I got to keep it in frame.
Okay, yeah, so that's a good reason. I don't think I kept mine in frame. Hey, we got it.
Here we go.
We rich. Okay. So there are kind of 2 ways to do it too. So there's as you're decelerating, you could kind of help it by like pushing down on your thumb a little bit to help it roll over. And if you're really good with the deceleration alone, it'll roll all the way up to the top. But usually, depending on the way that my arm is angled, I'll roll like up to here, and then I'll let go of it, and then I'll clasp on it. And then like in the meme video, as I was clasping on it, like my thumb kind of hit one, and it was a disaster. So, you could make it a little easier on yourself by pulling it up and then kind of just clasping on it instead of trying to get it to roll all the way up, which I think is a little harder way to do it. But both I'm totally okay with. And even feel free to send your fails as well, no problem.
Fails definitely welcome. Also, if you've got the combo set and you can do both at the same time.
Oh yeah, I think I posted on Twitter me doing with 2 hands. That was pretty crazy, like one like this. And David, I really want to see your video of you starting high and dropping down, which I guess is instead of starting with the pull up and then pushing down, you go straight to the pushing down. I'd love to see that video.
That's a good technique
because that's a different strategy that might work better.
I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can.
I feel like you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? We've been doing it one way. We've been doing it one way for a while. So also, like if you do the sushi roll challenge and someone has no idea what blinks are, they like kind of lose their mind because all of a sudden there's this like futuristic hexagon product and it's just like rolling up on its own. People really go crazy. So I recommend showing it to people who've never seen blinks before. When we were at PAX East and trying to get people into our Kickstarter booth, I just did the sushi roll challenge all day. And people stopped and said, "What is that?" And so it's good for business.
Jonas just commented in the thread, and actually, I want to give a shout out to Jonas Runkle. He's been such an active community member, and has in the comments here, Jonas has offered to forward set. So I know a lot of our international backers were disappointed to see that the summer games we are not shipping internationally, but Jonas has been incredibly kind to arrange for some sets to be shipped directly, and then he'll forward. So huge big up to the community for coming together like this.
Tremendous support. Yeah.
Just to give a little bit of background and reasoning, just to help you understand one of the reasons why the Somerset games are US only. For the upcoming Kickstarter shipments that'll be happening the end of August, early September, we're shipping with a new shipping partner, one that allows us to have inventory actually in other warehouses around the world, so that we can deliver more reliably, quicker, and also more affordably, and pass those savings on to customers. we're also, by bringing the inventory directly to those international warehouses, you don't have to pay customs, or better yet, your product doesn't get held in customs, waiting for you to pick it up. Instead, you pay customs up front, and then your product can just be delivered straight to you. This is something that, in all honesty, requires a good deal of work and responsibility on our end. But I think the experience for all of the international shipments is going to be just infinitely better than what we were able to do for our last Kickstarter. We were able to ship out, and due to COVID, there were lots of unforeseen delays there.
It took us a while to figure out, how to avoid all of the delays with COVID, and to make sure that people who are waiting on their packages, which, we're still learning every single day about the ways that impacts our shipping. So while there's still some uncertainty there, the upcoming Kickstarter batch, we feel like we've resolved that for this particular, where we have to, put together kind of the summer games all by hand. So it would be in US and it wouldn't be at our different warehouses. It just make it, a lot more guaranteed in terms of our deliverability to have it be US only. And then as we continue to learn, and hopefully as things calm down a little bit, we can mature to the place where we can have a flash sale that we have to put things together at home, and then also be able to deliver that internationally, which right now is just a little tough.
Yeah, and I don't think it's far out. I think once we're up and running with those
hopefully then,
houses,
it'll be a lot easier.
Yeah, so the goal of this is to be able to release games frequently so that you're constantly getting new exciting games. This 2020 summer set already off to an amazing start, and I think I think there are going to be lots of games coming out. So we're definitely keeping the international community in mind, because we just have some of our most amazing community members outside of the country. So that's on, let's see. So we covered the Sushi Roll Challenge. We talked about international shipping. Definitely reach out to Jonas Runkle. You can connect with him on Facebook. And thanks again, Jonas, for doing that. And then what else am I missing for this stream? I think I should give an update on the status of the games, right?
Sure.
Let me pop over. Yeah, you don't get to see it like in Kickstarter. Okay. Over 100 orders in. People are buying far away, getting all three. It looks like, maybe 2/3.
Oh, wow. Man, this is looking like it's not going to last a while.
So in the first 15 minutes, we had, I believe, a third of the games.
Tremendous support. One thing we definitely will not be doing is increasing this batch, since we have to put them together by hand, and there's only a limited amount that we can do. Like right now I'm in Rhode Island. I'll be driving up to New York to help John, so he doesn't have to do it all. He and Dan don't have to do it all by himself. So once these 500 are gone, that's really it.
That's exactly right. And I think normally, everybody got to meet our summer interns on one of our other live streams. Normally we'd be in the office and be able to pack up and do a lot more. We're doing things safe. We're going to make sure that, these arrive nice and on time. So 500 is what we all agreed to pack up, and what we could do from the inventory. And I can't wait to start shipping them.
And if you have any trouble finding Jonas's information, feel free to also reach out to us as well, and we can pass that along for those who, I just saw a comment that there are many Jonases on Facebook. So you can reach out to us, and then we can make sure that connection happens. And thank you so much while we have so many different things on our plate, especially putting together the next Kickstarter, your help join us in being able to make this happen.
Awesome. Well, Ishmael, I think this Thursday, I know we've got some exciting news, some updates from our interns. We've got more games from the forum that we'll be able to break out and play. And definitely, if you haven't joined the forum, take a look at the forum. If you haven't checked out our games pages, go to move38.com/games. And we'll be here every Tuesday and Thursday. And definitely subscribe down below. Oh, you got to do it with me. Ready?
Below.
And any requests for our chief meme officer, definitely send them our way.
Feel free to email me memes as well, ishmael@move38.com. If you make any Move38 memes, definitely we'll post them to the Instagram story, even though I didn't get John's approval of that. And we'll find many places to maybe make a YouTube video of all the memes that you guys send me.
Consider it approved. I've got a really
Awesome.
good one today. I forgot about it yesterday, but one came our way yesterday. So
no shortage of Move38 memes, let me tell you.
Thanks everybody for joining. Definitely head to the site, pick up your set of summer games. We can't wait to pack them up for you. And join us on Thursday at 1 p.m.
Thank you so much, everyone.
See you
Talk
soon.
to you guys soon.
All right.